In the latest patch, brand new production system has arrived, and it's a game changer. Whether you're a veteran player or new to the game, we're here to walk you through every step of the new system, showing you how to optimize your setup for maximum efficiency. Let's get started and unlock the full potential of your production. And here we have the Trommel. This is to sort pretty much everything else from dirt and pay dirt. Everything else will come through the top, so pretty much all material will go in. And out the bottom will be dirt and pay dirt, so that way you can run it into your wash plants. And all that other material that is not dirt and pay dirt will pass straight through the drum, out the other side. That's where you're going to find all of your, other material that's not dirt and pay dirt. This will come in handy so that way you can have everything sorted out into your own individual lines. Here we have the coal screener. It's kind of interesting because this is another one that's going to sort, all your input types are going to be coming through. And out at the bottom is going to be coal. That way you can have your own coal line into your own coal storages. What's coming out the front is going to be, everything else that is not coal. That's already been pre-sorted through your line beforehand. Here we have a Froth floater. This is replacement for the fractioner. This thing is kind of unique, what it does. So pretty much it takes gravel on the input. And it's a little different than the cone crusher or the fractioner used to be, but we'll see why later. Pretty much what this thing will do is it'll take all those little crushed rocks and it's going to turn it into, iron, copper, aluminum, silver, gold, and lithium, and pretty much everything else that hasn't been sorted out in your system already, and then tailings and everything else out the bottom. Here we have the sluice box. This is a new change because pay dirt and dirt come in, and it's a little different because now it's not just everything goes through. Gold, diamonds, and rubies and silicon get stored in, its own internal sluice box, and dirt comes out the bottom. Probably notice we have two of them that look identical. One is a sluice box. Other one, is a wash plant that used to function like the other one. And as you can see here, you have the bottom one, which would be pay dirt comes in, dirt, gold, diamonds, rubies, and silicon come out the bottom. But the sluice box holds everything internally and only releases dirt. Here we have the jaw crusher. The jaw crusher's job is to break down that large bedrock material, which is blasted rock and some solid rock that might get in there as well. And it's going to output, crushed rock. That's its job. Pretty simple. Doesn't have an up or down, just straight through. Next in the line would be generally the cone crusher, depending on your configuration of your wash plant, your production system. But this thing takes in crushed rock that came out of the jaw crusher, and it converts it to gravel, so that way you can use it later in the thing that we mentioned before, the Froth floater, so we can get a little bit more out of your material, or you can make asphalt out of it. And one of the last production pieces that we have here is the shaker screen. This thing will take any material in and pretty much process almost everything out the back side of it. And then out the front side, it's going to be releasing coal, blasted, and crushed. So this one is kind of an interesting one and where it fits in the plant, but we'll show you that later on where you guys can kind of strategically put it into your plants. That'll make the most sense. And here's the new storage container. Pretty nice little model compared to what we used to have, just like this big sea can box. But it has a little ore tower that brings it up to the top. It has itself, obviously, a storage inside of it. But we can also, when this thing gets full, it'll also pass everything out and then into another one. So that's awesome. So that is all the new production pieces that are in there. I didn't include the belts. They're kind of self-explanatory. But if you do not know how to use the power system, I do have a tutorial video. Make sure you guys go to my channel and find that tutorial video if you're having any questions on that. This is about the production plant itself. And here we have a nice kind of compact, everything that you need to sort out to a few different lines. That way you're collecting everything in the right containers for yourself. It makes it easy to grab. And that way you're not missing anything running from early game to end game. This is a do everything plant pretty much in a sense. Makes it very easy for you to put everything into your hoppers, collect everything, and we're going to go ahead and break down every piece in order on another chart where I take you back to the blue screen room here and give you that the breakdown so that way you can see how to build this plant exactly. First, we'll show you the order here, and you can see that any material goes in. Then the first one will be the coal screener. Then the next will be the trommel, then shaker screen, jaw crusher, cone crusher, froth floater. And then on the bottom, you can see the storage outputs, which would be coal, sluice, ores, and tailings, and then ore. Now that you have a general idea of kind of the layout, we're going to go ahead and build this, and I'm going to show you guys a parts list as well here coming up. So that way you guys can have all the parts you need to know. So here's a must buy. You definitely have to buy a power generator that's the 2800 kilowatts for sure, or at least have around that. We'll show you here in a second. You need the power pylons that are a lot higher, like 3600 kilowatts. And then whatever speed you would like, you might as well run 10 speed. So that way you don't have any issues. And then also I added in a player inventory of all the pieces that you will need to buy to make sure you can build this plant. And you don't have to spend any extra. I didn't do any totals on what these all cost, but it's pretty cheap plant. It's not in like $10 million or $5 million plant. You just don't need those things anymore. But I figured I'd give you a little brief piece of what you need. You don't need all the power cables. That's just what I have in my inventory. But you need to definitely must buy the bigger pieces to run this plant because there is a minimum plant power that is required. So let's go ahead and get into actually building the plant for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys really like seeing how these things snap together, so that way you guys can get a better idea and understanding of how these things work for a basic plant that's going to do everything for you. So let's go ahead and get on into that, and we'll show you what's up. Okay, first off, we're going to start off with placing your hopper, right? You definitely need a placed hopper. And we've already laid out some foundation pieces. That's so it makes it a little easier for me to snap all these in. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go up in elevation. Why? Because most of the parts cascade down. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up, and then we're going to place on a single unit. And the reason why we do this is we have to offset it a little bit, so that way we're not smashed into the back of the line when we place in the coal screener. So we're going to sort our coal first, get it out of the line so it doesn't contaminate anything later. Then we're going to place a drop chute just to make it look nice, and it'll fit right in that little gap. That is why we added the one off. All right, so we're going to place that there. Now you can see how it goes up, goes down, and then it'll drop the coal right there. So, a little trick is if you can't get your shaker to pop, or not your shaker, but your storage to pop in where you want it to, one really cool thing you could do, just grab a block, snap to, walk over here a little bit, and grab it, and then snap it to that. So that way you're still within snapping for all your plants to make sure everything's lined up correctly. Then everything will drop right down in and collect. Really nice. For your coal. So then we'll put a storage right on there. So all your coal will go into that storage. It'll be that way your coal is done right off the bat and there's nothing else. Okay, so then the next step we're going to do is we like to run trommels. The trommel's job is, well, like we said before, it's going to sort everything out, right? So we have to move some pieces up from the inventory so we can select here, because only so many can be held in the hotbar. So we're going to grab, you need a couple of your straight pieces, your rights, your lefts. So if you want to go to the right side of the plant or the left side, depending on where you want your layout to go, that is completely up to you. We're just going to show you the basics. So if you want to go to the other side, you'd put the other one on there, right? And then if you, that's the straight piece, you move that down. Let's move some of these other pieces up here real quick. Let's grab the left. So the left is going to pop out, right? That side. And then there we go, the right. And then we'll put that one there because we want to come out to this side so all of our storage can be on the other side. That way you can do whatever on this side. You can stack another plant next to it or whatever you want, right? Okay, then we're going to snap a sluice box onto it. That way, when we check our coal plant, we can, part of it, we can also check the sluice box while we're there. And then you can just go ahead and put a sell point underneath the bottom of that sluice. So it'll automatically sell all your dirt. Okay, then we're going to go in here and we're going to build the rest of this. So we're going to find the shaker screen. And we're going to do that. And since we already have our bends up in our hotbar, should be good. So we're going to add, now we're going to sort all the other good material out as well into its own box. So that way we have our coal, we have gold and everything in our sluice box, and then we're going to put another storage right here. And that's going to sort out everything else. So it's all in a nice little nifty line for you when you go to clear your plant and check your plant for its goodies. So your coal, you have all your goods, and then you're going to have the shaker screen's going to sort everything else out into here. So anything else coming out, it's only going to be like blasted rock, right? Like we showed in the pictures. Okay, so then we're going to grab the cone crusher. We got to grab the jaw crusher. And the... Yep, we'll put those in real quick. So what happens if... Well, what happens if you go snap it in? Well, see, look, it's inside the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to elevate again. So that way... I know this wouldn't be normal, but this is to keep the plant compact so you're not using these big, giant, long angles and your plant's 40 miles long. So we're going to just go with another conveyor up, which is very handy. And then we're going to snap the jaw crusher on. And then we're going to go with the cone crusher. That way we can break the rock down to be usable in the froth floater or split it here. And so we're just going to go to a froth floater for this this example here. Let's bring all the rest of these up here to the top so we don't have to do it again. Power, cable, and then we'll bring the pylons over as well too. So we're going to snap the froth floater on here. Right, so then that way all we have to do is connect up the outs. Right, so all I'm going to do is put a bend here. Snap it in the bottom. And then I'm going to put another piece here. So that way it lines up all nice. I know people with their OCD and stuff, right? And then we're going to put a two-piece on and then a bend. To give a little distance so we don't smash the things together. And we're going to snap that onto there. And then we're going to use the down two-piece. And we're going to put in the storage. So they're all lined up. So this is the basic setup for sorting everything in using the froth floater, but without making asphalt. Right, so this will just pretty much make everything and sort it into its nice little bins so you don't have to go on a mile-long adventure to find your storage stuff. So now we're going to show you guys the inputs. Go ahead and delete those two blocks if you use that method. And we're going to snap on the 10X here onto that hopper and the 10X here because it's two separate actual lines. So they both need their own power. So what we're going to do is now we're going to place a power pole right about here. And you can run this however you want. Just make sure you have the adequate power. And we're going to snap another one right over here. And then we're going to put in a power generator, that 2800, because this is going to be big enough. We're going to need over 2000. And we're going to snap it to the pole. Then we're going to snap it to the power. And then we're going to snap it to the pole again and then to the other power pole. Then we're going to snap one more time, go around to the other side, and we're going to snap into this power output because that one needs to be powered as well. Right, so that is the basic setup right there. Very simple. Very, very, very simple to connect together. You guys, a matter of like 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to this power box, and this is the unit load for the actual wash plant itself, the whole thing. Then you have to calculate in and add up this power load as well, and make sure that is not over your power pylon limit and your power generation limit. But since we bought the big boy, and here you go, so here's the power pole, right? This one can take 3600. We're well within the lines to be able to run that. Now, if you look at this, we could produce 2800 kilowatts. So we're completely good. Everything's good to go here. All you have to do is turn these things on, obviously give the plant fuel, and it'll fire up, and you should have no problems following this here. That's very, 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 very simple for you guys. Hopefully that one's an easy one for you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been just wanting a basic plant and things like that. So hopefully that really helps you guys out. Like I said, if you wanted to add a splitter there, you could do a splitter. That way your gravel goes into an asphalt plant and also froth floater. So yeah, very easy design, guys. You guys can modify these pieces anyway. This is the order they can kind of go in. They work. Okay, well, thank you guys very much for watching today. Hopefully this helped you guys build the plant and where to put things in a certain order to make sure you guys get everything sorted out into all the little areas that they need to go for you guys. Like I said, this is just a basic plant. You can build it however you want, but that's just one way that we do it. Now that you got your basics, guys, get out there and build as many cool things as you guys want. And as always, guys, if we earned it, make sure you guys smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and let you guys know that we appreciate you guys as well. Thank you guys very much for watching.